We are talking dollars and cents this morning with Derek Elrod. Derek's a certified financial planner with Bridgewealth Advisory Group in Fresno. And Derek, we are glad you are here with us today. We would like to talk about saving for retirement. And I think the number one question often is, and probably if you counted how many times somebody asked you this, you'd be a gazillionaire, but how much is enough to save for retirement?
I know. I probably get that question on almost a daily basis.
Yeah.
So we're going to use averages. Obviously, everyone spends differently, but let's use national averages. And let's just assume that someone makes $60,000 a year. Well, the old rule of thumb was you need about 85% of your income just before retirement. So like I said, 85% of 60,000 is around 51,000 a year. Now, new studies are coming out saying, most people aren't cutting back their spending, so you probably need 100% of your pre-retirement income. Like I said, just to give you an idea. So let's use 60,000 as our number. Now, where are we going to come up with that 60,000? Well, most of us will have Social Security, so let's use that. If you turn on at 67, which is full retirement age for someone my age, you're going to get about 42% of that 60,000. That's $25,000. You're still short 35,000. So either I've got to work part-time, I got to have some investment properties generating some income, some cash flow, or investments, whether outside investments, 401ks, whatever it is, savings and investments. It's got to come from somewhere. And we did a whole segment not too long ago on the 4% rule, saying if you got savings in a balanced account of, let's say, $100,000, you can historically withdraw 4% of that and not run out of money. And so 4% of 100,000 is only $4,000. You're still well short of that 60,000 bogey. Mm-hmm. So to give you an idea there, you need over 800,000 saved up in your 401k, for example, at the 4% rule, plus Social Security to get you your 60,000. So we need to save a lot, unless you want to take a cut in your standard of living. So those are your options.
Yeah, and some people have done that. I see the headline of how this person was able to retire at 27. You're like, wow, oh, that person eats, I don't know, toast, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You said 401k. I want to ask about that in just a moment. But first, in terms of saving all of this money, does it matter if you don't start right at, 22 when you graduate from college traditionally?
Well, so I manage a lot of 401k plans here in the Valley. And when I do a participant meeting, this is probably my favorite slide. And so if you don't mind pulling that slide up, we're going to look at the top half of it. And we have Sam and Sally. Now, okay. Sam started not quite at 22, your example, but let's say Sam started at 24 years old, doing $250 a month to the 401k. And then maybe $125 is his, and $125 was a match from the company. But it's $250 a month total. He saves for 41 years, a little over 7% return. He would have a monthly benefit to age 90, about $4,100 a month. So not bad. Sally, I always say Sally, she enjoyed her 20s. She enjoyed her 30s. Now she's 40 and she goes, you know what? I still got 25 years left. I'm going to contribute more and I'm going to beat Sam. I'm going to do $500 a month, twice as amount as he is. At the end of, let's call it age 65, so that's 25 years later, she would only have a monthly benefit of $2,300 a month, almost half. So the bottom half of this actually shows the numbers. And Sam contributed $123,000 of his own money, but has an ending balance of $706,000. Where Sally was right, she did catch up and contribute more than Sam did. She put in $150,000 of her own money, but ended up with only $405,000. Same investment returns. So if it shows you time, compounded returns make a big difference. And I get the question a lot of saying, well, when should I start? Should I start now? My answer is always, you should have started yesterday.
All right.
Yeah.
It
makes a big difference starting early, even with a smaller amount.
It does. I do have an issue with the names. I'd like the girl to have been planning longer.
I know.
I don't know if you should have Pat and Joe, or I don't know, names that could go either way. Anyway, sorry about that. That's a different topic.
From Vanguard, and that's how they had it, so you can blame Vanguard.
Okay, I'll blame Vanguard then. Okay, let's go back though to the 401k. As you were just talking, you can save in lots of different ways. Is 401k the way to do it?
For the vast majority of people, I think the 401k is the best option. You're getting tax benefits, whether you're doing pre-tax contributions or Roth, it's still tax benefits. Maybe the company matches, so there's free money there. It's kind of out of the mind, let the investments do their thing. And it's slightly more difficult to withdraw money. Maybe the company has withdrawal rules, potential penalties. So there's a higher chance you won't touch it, where if it was not in the 401k, I think a lot of people would end up blowing that money on something. So I highly recommend the 401k. I think it's a great vehicle.
Okay, Derek, thank you very much for your time and your helpful info today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Remember, always consult a financial advisor, a tax advisor, or an attorney before you act on any information provided within this segment. And if you'd like to watch the segment again or find information on how to contact Derek at Bridgewealth Advisory Group, just log on to KMPH.com, or you could use the Fox 26 app and click the Dollars and Cents tab.